On two. Ready? Hey!
Welcome back.
What's good, people? We back again. Finally back at the crib doing the show, not on the road per se. So we're definitely doing some cool stuff, man. So the NFL season is upon us, man. It's coming up quick.
Football
We
even
had
quicker.
we had some crazy injuries already in training camp that kind of could derail some teams already. But if you drafted well, you know, maybe it'll help. Uh, opportunities come at all shapes and sizes, bro. In terms of time, so should be fun, man. We gonna get into some NFC uh breakdown. So we'll go over some stuff. Some I guess some you say off season storylines that kind of went into training camp season, so that'll be kind of cool. Then we're gonna break down all the teams in the NFC division wise, so that should be fun. But before we get started, man, how you doing?
It's good. It's good to be doing this again. All the other things we've been doing have been fun, but this is the bread and butter of like what we do and how we got started. Like I think like the original videos, like the first few videos we did were like in depth, long distance, like videos like this breaking down every team, every division, getting ready for the season. This is our fourth time doing this, I believe. So it's definitely really fun. Like you said, the season's right there. Preseason's smaller than it used to be, so you're gonna blink and it's gonna be right back, and then it'll be right back to predictions and reactions and stuff like that all over again.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be fun, man. So without further ado, man, let's get this thing started, dog. So you know the drill. We're on the road to 40K. Y'all help us out and we gonna get started, man. So also y'all get in the comment box and talk about how you like our new slides when we get to them, man. So we trying something new. But like I said, y'all keep going. We go keep going too, man. So keep liking, subscribing. It's over there. So we're doing our preseason breakdown. Start with the NFC. So just some off-season storylines, man, that kind of shaped the season per se as we start off, right? So uh 8 of them for our audio listeners, right? So number one, can Seattle repeat? I think that's an important storyline, man. Then we got number two, the Rams go all in, right? They say fuck them picks, right? So they did it, and they did it big time. So we'll get into that. San Francisco adds Mike Evans, right? Kind of a gamble for an older receiver, but we'll get into that. Philadelphia is number four. They life after AJ Brown, right? We'll get into that. The Giants made a coaching change uh, and brought in a familiar face, right? So we'll talk about that. Then we got you know, the NFC North is actually the best division out here if you really think about it.
Yeah.
In the NFC per se.
I think the West is in that conversation too.
Yeah, man, but
The West could get 3 teams in.
Yeah, but I feel like, man, the Niners, if they have one injury, kind of like every year,
Well, they already do.
yeah, they're cooked. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking about the NFC North, man, it's like all four of these teams, got something going for them, right? But we'll get into that though, man. But then we got number 7, Atlanta hits the reset button again. Um, new coaches, new GM, new everything. So they really start over. But it's not starting over from scratch. They got some really good players on there, right? And then number 8, man. Who's the NFC's the breakout team that's going to start their run of playoff berths and maybe championship run? So we'll get into that. So first off with the Seahawks, man. Can they repeat? What you think?
I think I'm not gonna get too in detail because we're gonna do their actual team breakdown. But Seattle's interesting. A lot of people have them as a shoe-in to get right back in. I don't necessarily see it that way. Seattle retained a lot of their players, but they did lose some quality players in free agency. I thought they did okay in the draft. You know, I feel like they've been drafting really well, especially since McDonald's been there, and even like shortly before that, they have some really good young talent. But the other teams in the West got really better. You know, we'll get into the Rams after this. I think Seattle is definitely a guaranteed lock for the playoffs unless they just get decimated by the injury bug. And I mean, Sam Darnold's going into year 3 of probably being able to play at the same level, so you're going to be really good there. You lose your running back in Kenneth Walker. You still have JSN and some other good weapons. There are just some question marks that have me kind of pressing the brakes a little bit. Like, I think they're in that conversation, but I don't think it's a shoe-in that, you know, they can repeat.
All right, no, I can see that. I mean, I think defensively they're gonna be good. And I think that's what's gonna help them a lot. I think they're versatile on defense. So no matter who they go against, they can match up pretty well, right? And I think the running game is where I would see a lot of their issues because you lose Kenneth Walker, that's 1,000 yards right there, right? So if you go running back by committee, you're gonna have to kind of piece that together, right? Because you know Charbonnet's not the healthiest guy,
And you
and
drafted a
then
guy, too, so
yeah, and then
guy for Notre Dame.
yeah, so then you got the guy from Notre Dame, so you don't know how good he's gonna be. So we'll see. We'll see. They have a good offensive line. So if that's the case, holes are gonna be there. It's
Mm-hmm.
just if the running backs can do it or not. So I think I don't know if they can repeat, but getting to the playoffs,
Yeah, I
they're
think
gonna
they're a
get
lock.
there.
I think that's a lock. I don't see any
Yeah.
scenario where they don't make the playoffs.
All right, so then we get into the Rams, right? Like I said, we'll get into it when we break their team down, man. But
Man,
they made a lot of moves, including Trent McDuffie and Miles Garrett. I mean,
and
you boosted that.
you have one lingering that could happen still. So
Yeah, so like I said, they go all in for the division, right? And for the championship. So I think um last year they didn't have an answer for JSN, right? As terms of on the defensive side. I think they
mhm.
put multiple cornerbacks on him, even safeties, which was a mistake, right? They didn't have an answer for him. And every time they played him, he got off a little bit, right? Now don't get it twisted. Nakua got off too. Puka Nakua got off too, right? But I think when you make a trade for McDuffie, he's supposed to be following JSN around, right? You give him a big contract, you give up some draft picks. That's your responsibility. The number one receiver on any team, you're supposed to be following him. But the Seahawks, you gotta guard their best player. And right now their best player is JSN. So you gotta guard him, right? Now you obviously know Miles Garrett. I mean, what 25 sacks or some shit like that last year. Like,
Broke
you
the
know
record.
he's going, you know he's gonna do him, right? But that's an upgrade over Jared Verse by like 400%. All right, in terms of production, anyway. So you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. and that's a good move, right?
Mhm.
So I'm excited about that.
The
To see what
Rams,
they do.
and the crazy thing is, I think the Rams had damn near the best offseason of anybody. I think the Rams are the favorite. I think the Rams could have went all the way last year, and a couple of down to the wire games, they were really close to making it out of the NFC. You make huge leaps and bounds for getting McDuffie, that locks up that problem. You get a freaking pass rush legend in Myles Garrett, and there are two possible moves still waiting in the arms. You're waiting to see if Aaron Donald is going to come out of retirement for one. That's a huge move. And then you have Vita Vea over in Tampa, who's requested a trade, who listed LA as a possible destination of him wanting to go to. So those are things that I'm keeping an eye on. If either one of those goes LA's way, they're the obvious favorite. They're loaded on offense. Matthew Stafford was talking to Drew Brees recently, and Brees says he's like, "Man, you're playing really good," but he's like, you're probably going to have the best stretch of football of your entire career here over the next few years. If you stay healthy, you're probably going to have the best numbers of your career. He was lights out last year, and I don't see any reason why he won't be lights out again this year. I think he's locked in, ready to go. I thought it was a little bit of a head scratcher, drafting the quarterback where they did. Obviously, they're still trying to plan for the future, but it's looking like he's probably going to sit for a while. But they're all in, not on making the playoffs. They're all in on winning another championship. Just like how they were all in the last time, they're even more all in now.
Yeah, nah, I agree. I think drafting Ty Simpson was a surprise, but you get it though. You get it, and then see that smooth says who's winning second place.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I think it's a little bit closer than you think, honestly. But San Francisco, in my opinion, is like they're in the same boat as they were last year.
And the
Like,
year before.
And the year before.
And the year before that.
One injury is going to derail their season, right? Whether it's offense, defense, doesn't matter, right? The defense took a hit last year when Warner like broke his leg or some shit, right? McCaffrey goes all in. He's a dual threat running back. He catches a lot and he runs a lot, right? So by the time you get to the playoffs, you got to really think about, what you've done the whole season, right? Did we rest him enough? But you can't rest him because he's that important to the team, right? They bring back Debo Samuel, right? So that should help a little. But you don't really have nothing else. I mean, Evans last season got hurt, right?
Yeah, Pearsall's injury prone.
Yeah, and he got shot. So
yeah, he got pretty bad luck.
Yeah, so like I said, I was reading something that said Christian Kirk is on the team too, right?
Yeah.
So
he's a serviceable piece.
Yeah, so there you go, right? So it's not the best team up like top to bottom. But I mean, hey, like what can you do? I just think you paid Purdy all that money, and I'm just like,
head scratcher.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you paid him all that money, and it feels like he's okay at best, right? Like it feels like this is as good as he's gonna get. Like he's gonna get you to the playoffs and might get you to a Super Bowl, but those teams that they had when he did that felt like they were a lot better than this one, right? And then you look at Kittle; he's injury prone, right?
Great player.
You got one of the best left tackles, right? And he's almost 40. So, like, you got so much on this team that just feels like they're one bad season away from just tearing it completely down. Now, what does that mean for Shanahan? I don't know. But their window is definitely closing, and Mike Evans doesn't help that much.
If I'm not mistaken, I think McCaffrey is dealing with an injury right now, but this is I'll kind of piggyback on what you said. You said one injury away. The problem is, Cam, it's never one. It's like a sickness. Someone gets hurt, and it's like a plethora of starters get hurt every time. I just want to know why that is. Like, is it something with the conditioning? Like, what's going on to where it feels like the last 5 years, it's like the flu. Everybody freaking gets hurt, and it's never like backups. It's always like big time players, Warner, McCaffrey, like Kittle, like all these big names. Like, I don't think Shanahan's on the hot seat at all, but just like another team we're going to get into here in a little while, I think that window is very, very close to shutting. I don't think the Deebo Samuel move gives you any help. I think he's washed. I don't think he's going to give you anything. Yeah, he's played in the system, cool. I didn't see anything from him last year to make me think that that's going to help them. If Mike Evans is healthy and 100%, then I think that will help them. But I'm just too concerned that they've got a really good team. They're gonna make the playoffs, but that's as far as it goes because someone's gonna get hurt, or there's just gonna be a bad coaching decision. They're just gonna come up short. I like Brock Purdy. I like his story. I like the underdog story. I was against giving him that much money. The same reason I was against giving Trevor Lawrence that kind of money. Yeah, Purdy played in a Super Bowl, but I'm not going to give Purdy all the credit for getting them to said Super Bowl. He's played good. He's been serviceable. Cam Newton's going to say like game manager, and I guess he's not wrong. But you've really strapped yourself for cash at the quarterback position, and I feel like you could have really used that better for maybe a couple other people. Obviously, you're not going to avoid the injury bug. It just feels like it's inevitable at this point. San Fran's got a good enough team to make the playoffs, but I don't see them going on any deep playoff run anytime soon.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well. But then we go to Philadelphia. Like I said, AJ Brown was kind of a cancer in the locker room, right? I don't think it was. I don't think it's arguable that he kind of brought the energy down a little bit, right? You got this good player who's one of the best receivers in the league, but he doesn't really care about winning as much as he cares about his numbers per se, right? So I think Philadelphia is actually better without him now. I think the physical catches in terms of like contested catches is going to drop a little bit, right? Those one-on-one battles that he wins, it's going to drop a little bit, but um, I feel like they will be a lot better in the intermediate routes now because Makai Lemon is pretty good, and Smitty is pretty good as well with the route running. So I think that combination with Dallas Goddard is gonna be good, and they got Saquon Barkley too, just to throw the ball to as well. So you get that cancer out of the locker room, man. Now we can focus on winning because everybody else seems to want to win and don't really care about their numbers, right? So I think it'll help a lot.
I think Philly's still got a good team. I like the addition of Lemon in them. We need the production from Barkley to come back up. It was kind of off last year. We really need that run game. That run game is going to help open up that pass game. And now you have a chess piece that you can throw the ball 40, 50 yards downfield and he can get under it and catch it. I really think for Philly to be successful, he's going to have to get over 1,200 yards. Like, he's going to have to really get under it. I'm not saying another freaking like MVP type year like he had a few years ago, but we need that production to get up because it's going to take the pressure off of Hurts. And we're not going to see, we've said it every year for the last 3-4 years that, we don't want him dropping back to throw that many times. We want Saquon to take the bulk of that productivity. That'll open up play action. That'll open up the RPO. That'll allow Hurts to be able to just make decisions and not have to throw the ball so many times and have more opportunities for mistakes or turnovers. So.
Yeah, nah, man. I think last year they was just resting him after running for 2,000. That's all I think it was. I don't think it was because they were bad or anything. I just think, man, we got this great running back. Let's not run him into the dirt, Let's just, let's take a break and let's see what we could do with let's see what we can do with Jalen Hurts, right? And they kind of figured out like, we can't really go that far with Jalen Hurts passing the ball as much. Like we need to be able to use his legs too, and we can only use his legs if Saquon is more effective, if that makes sense, right? So, like I said, I think they need more depth at running back too, right? Because I don't even know who their backup is now.
I think they have Bigsby, huh? Or no?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they have Bigsby and they have the guy from Clemson, Shipley.
Oh, Shipley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, those guys got to step up too, because I mean, if you're gonna mix and match, like Philly's always had good running backs, but they always had a good stable of running backs. So it should be interesting, but I think Philly's all right, man. All right, we get to the Giants. Obviously, John Harbaugh takes over from leaving my Baltimore Ravens. But that's okay, right? Got a little stale. I always say that he reached the Brian Billick type of phase, right? Anybody knows Brian Billick won the first Super Bowl for the Ravens, and then they were still good, but we needed a new message, right? Enter John Harbaugh, and the message was different, and we'll win another Super Bowl, right? Uh, still good on defense and everything, right? But the message was getting stale, right? Lamar obviously MVPs and some kind of deep playoff runs. I think one or two, right? Get to the AFC title game, right? So you start to figure out, all right, well, is it the coaching or is it the player, right? So now, aside from Baltimore, Harbaugh has another opportunity to rebuild a pretty good franchise, right? The Giants haven't really been relevant in a very long time. So this is a good spot for them, right? Been a long time since they got a Super Bowl winning coach in there, right?
Coughlin's been gone for a while. That's the last time they were truly relevant.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. So hopefully you got a team. He's entering with a good team though. They're young and they just need a little guidance, right? Um on defense, I like what they got. I personally wish they would have kept was that Dexter Lawrence? I think he was there. I wish they would have kept him. But he didn't want to be there, so that's fine. But that's a big loss on your defense, right? But I do like their pass rushing though, right? Thibodeau, Carter, and Burns, right? I think if you can mix and match those guys, I think you could really cause some havoc in the NFC East per se, right? If you were talking about a division title per se. Now we start looking at the offense, right? Um, Dart has to be able to slide a little bit more. All right, he's taking too many hits. I think me and you both said last year or the year before last that gosh, he's tough, but you can't be that tough at the next level. You're not gonna last that long, right? So he's gotta be able to take a less hits if he wants to be the guy, right? Offensive line though, I do like what he's walking into, man. He's got some pretty good offensive linemen, man. They got do they still have Evan Neal? He's still on there, or is he
I
gone?
believe so.
He's still there? Right. Okay, so he's still there. Then you drafted the tackle this year, and then they got a big dude from Georgia a couple years ago. So they got some good offensive linemen that I'm really, really excited to see. So I mean, it's not like he's walking into a bare bones situation and try to have to fix it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. The Giants are still a few years away. I'm tired of hearing these so-called, like I tell Kim all the time, experts, hyphenated experts. Think the Giants are like a sleeper. and that they can make the playoffs and they're gonna do that. Like, they're still a ways away. They have talent, but you have to establish a culture. You need to get a good running mate for Scatabo because you're gonna run him into the dirt within another year or two.
He gonna run
You,
himself into the dirt.
yeah, he's gonna run through a brick wall and fall over and not get up.
Yeah.
You got Malik Neighbors coming back over after injury. If you can get him back 100%, I really like that. He was lighting it up his rookie year. We really just need Dart to make better decisions, not just with the sliding, but just making better decisions in the pass game. I think he'll go through his progressions and he'll get better. He's a smart guy, but the Giants are not near where they need to be making the playoffs. I think there are a lot of other really good up and coming teams that we're going to talk about, and we'll see what Harbaugh does. Man, I'm hoping that he adapts and doesn't just try to like recycle the same thing. Like, you have to try new things. You have to adapt it the way the league is now. It just kind of felt like he was just recycling the same thing over and over. Now, obviously, it's a different team, different organization, but like, let's see what you're going to do with another young quarterback, what you're going to do with a young, promising, up and coming defense. Like, you have some pieces, but you're still a few years off. You got to establish culture and, get some structure in there to where you can start winning again.
Yeah, man, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But it's a lot going on that I like with the Giants though. Like they're in a better spot than they have been in a while.
It's a good division though. It's a good
Yeah,
division.
it is. It is. But they got a lot of good pieces that could help them maybe sneak into the playoffs in a year or two. I still think they're a couple pieces away, but like if you can keep that pass rush, right? I just think that's the biggest part of their defense that they need to like grow with, right? I think the next part of their evolution is getting a cornerback for real. Like
getting
they
another
need
stud running back too.
yeah,
Offense.
yeah. So
Man, but the NFC North, man, I think we're looking at the best division in football. AFC or NFC. I think the NFC North might take the cake. What do you think?
I like the NFC North. I really do, right? Because everybody kind of looks at it like, oh, it's just a 3-horse race, right? But I wouldn't necessarily say that because Kevin O'Connell is on his third quarterback in 3 years. And he's made the playoffs, what, 2 out of the last 3, right? Um, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move to get Kyler Murray. I just think McCarthy's done. I don't think he's ready, man, because when you draft a player that high, they have to play. They got to get these rust off of them. They got to kind of start growing into a professional, right? And when you're behind your peers that were drafted before you by a year, by the time you play, there's no confidence with you, right? Especially coming off the year that Darnold had, you know? Like we're expecting you to have errors, right? But we're expecting you to make the right plays, but not when you're a year behind in your development, right? So I think Kyler Murray is the best move for them because out of all the quarterbacks that Kevin O'Connell has had since he's been there, nobody's this athletic, right? And who knows how that opens up their offense, but I think it's a positive when you have something that you've never had before, right? So, and don't get it twisted, Kyler Murray's got an arm on him to be as small as he is. He's got a cannon. So I just think people looking at Minnesota as kind of like, oh man, they ain't nothing. But I mean, they still got 2 of the best receivers in the league. Their defense is still really good. They got some good pieces on there. So I just think people discounting them, maybe not as a playoff team, but they're gonna steal some games that might keep the Packers or the Lions out of the playoffs. Let's just say that. Right. And then obviously you got the Bears with Caleb Williams and all his glory and fingernail polish. But dude is a baller, man. Like I don't know what else to say about him. He's a baller, right? And I think they could win the division just based off of him, right? I think he's well, we talked about like 50 touchdown potential, right? Guys that just know how to find the end zone, right? Whether it be throwing their guys open or extending plays, that's 50 touchdown potential, right? And I think he's got it, right? And the offensive line is rebuilt, man. Like it's looking good, right? So, like I said, I just think this division has got so much fun stuff in it, right? I think the loser of the division might win 7 games still. We've seen that before, right? Where everybody's so damn good that you just everybody's just winning, man. So I like it. I want to see what they can do.
We'll get into like the nitty gritty of it. But if I'm just gonna touch on anything, I think Kevin O'Connell's great at developing quarterbacks. I like Kyler Murray's. I like his skill set, but I really need to see him bought in and serious because that's been a concern for a long time. It's just like how invested is he? How serious is he? Because if he's bought in, he's got protection and he's got the feeling like, man, they're really backing me, then I think he could be in for a big year. We'll see. He's got great weapons around him. He's still got Aaron Judge to hand the ball off to. I like what they have going on.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Jones.
If he had Aaron Judge, oh my god.
But
That'd
as
be
much as
crazy.
I hated on Caleb for so long, he's probably one of my favorite players currently in the league. I just love what he's doing. Yeah, the fingernail polish, but like his arm is like second to none. He might have the best arm in the entire league, outside of like a Matthew Stafford or someone else. Just had strong cannon of an arm. I think the Bears have tons of upside. And I think this year could be the year that they finally have a 4,000-yard passer. You have an offensive-minded head coach who's going to let him throw it. I think it's time. A lot of people are saying that the Lions are down and out. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
No,
I think the team that may underachieve in this division might be Green Bay, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not a LaFleur hater, but I just am not sold. And I know that, Rashawn Gary's gone. They have Michael Parsons coming back off of injury. But there's just some things that I don't know. Green Bay is a big question mark, and I just think people are overhyping Jordan Love. I thought he's had some good games over the years, but I just don't think he's that guy, or he's just not that guy yet. I think they may be the team that kind of takes a step back. But overall, the NFC North is probably one of the most competitive divisions in football, and it makes me happy to see because it makes me think of when we were kids and the NFC North was like the beat 'em up, everybody's good division. We're going to see what happens, and I think they're in that spot now.
Yeah, they also they have some issues at receiver, right?
Oh my gosh, they still can't get a number one.
Like,
still can't. Like you couldn't get one with Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers has been gone like 2-3 years, and they still can't get it right.
I'm
Christian
serious,
Watson
man.
is not. I don't want to get too into it because I know we're going to talk
The
about Green Bay,
Packers are
but
not having a receiver, not having a number one is crazy to me.
They haven't had a number one since Devontae Adams. That's been a little while. So
yeah, so like that's their biggest issue right now. Like that's why the Packers are in kind of a pickle right now when it comes to this division because everybody else got receivers. The Vikings got receivers, the Bears got receivers, the Lions got a bunch of receivers, right? I mean, we can even go tight end, right? The Vikings got a better tight end.
Everybody's really hype on Tucker Kraft. I don't think he's all that.
Yeah, I ain't the biggest fan either.
People tried ripping me one because I didn't have him. I don't even know if I even had him top 10. And people are like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, no, he's really not that guy.
Yeah. Like
people in their expert takes.
That's why he wasn't in my top 10, man. Because
yeah, me and you agreed on that then.
Because I'm like, one, he's coming off of an ACL injury, right? So you're coming off of an ACL injury, and you already weren't the most explosive guy. So now you're gonna be even slower.
I
So
just don't like Green Bay's offense. I think their offense is trash.
I can see that too. I can
I
see
think
that
it's
too.
trash. I think Green Bay's a phony. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
me.
man.
We'll see.
But then we get Atlanta, man. They hired Kevin Stefanski in a move that I think shocked both of us. Because it's like, damn, the Browns' run wasn't the best. But then when you start to peel back the layers of the onion, right, you realize that the Browns just suck, and that's just what it was. They're terrible. They're a terrible organization. They're terrible when it comes to signing free agents. They terrible at everything. They just suck, man. And that's what it was, right? So then when you see that part and you realize that the Browns are just terrible at everything, you realize that man, Stefanski might have walked into a gold mine. Because if you listen to everything that came out of Cleveland, right? He's like, man, I want to start Shadur, right? But he can't answer the questions like he wants to. He knows that Shadur is probably the best answer, but the higher ups are sitting there like, nah, we can't do it, right? So and you see how their next hire looked, right? They want somebody that they can control instead of somebody that's going to help them win, right? And I feel like Atlanta kind of was that way last year with Raheem Morris. It was somebody that they could control a little bit. But now they got somebody that maybe they can win with, right? Because Stefanski knows offense, right? That's his thing, right? And I think that's why he went out and got Tua more so than getting anybody else. Because it's like we need somebody with a quick release, right? Even if it's check down city all the time, right? We don't need a big arm quarterback, right? We just need to make the right plays, right? And if B. John catch 100 passes, fuck it, we gonna catch 100 passes. If Kyle Pitts catch 70 passes, fuck it, we gonna catch 70 passes, right? But we gotta keep the ball moving down the field, right? Gotta keep our defense healthy and not tired. So I think that's what works for them, right? And having, like I said, not having the opportunity to get a high first round pick because you traded it last year, but you still got two really good defensive ends, right?
Well, one's injured. He's probably out for the season. So Walker's
Goddamn,
injured. Yeah,
already
I think Walker tore his ACL. If I'm not mistaken.
again?
Yeah,
Goddamn.
yeah.
Well,
I think he's
now we
out.
got one.
And then the other one's just beating a case. So, but
Well, hopefully it helped them, right? So, okay, well, that changes things a little bit, but not necessarily on the offense. I think this is for me offensively, that's where I need to see the most growth for them, right? Because they got so much talent across the board. So, offensively, if you can score some points in this division, the NFC South, I think you could win a few games, right? And maybe make it interesting. But we'll see. But that division's wide open. Everybody's in it.
I liked the Stefanski hire. My first option for them would have been what's it called that went to Tennessee. I thought he was a really good fit too.
Mm.
But I like this fit. I get the Tua signing, but at the same time, they're both battling injury. They're gonna end up having to probably draft a guy next year. In my opinion, I think they're gonna have to really look for the future. We said free Kyle Pitts forever, and he signs an extension. So I am not freaking say free Kyle Pitts anymore. And they just paid Bijan to make him the highest paid, if not the second highest paid back in the league. I think he's the best running back in the league, in my opinion. I think he can do it all, pass, catch, everything. And he's really good. You still have really good players on defense, especially with the secondary. You still have Jesse Bates. You still have AJ Terrell.
Didn't they
I think the
draft
big
his brother?
I think so. But my
Yeah.
my biggest question mark is quarterback. Like I think this team is going to struggle again. I think they're going to have glimpses of shine, but I'm just not sold on. I think Penix's cheeks, and I think Tua won't be able to stay healthy. So I think you'll see flashes of this offense being able to win them games. I don't necessarily think they're in contention to win this division. I think it is a wide open division, but I think they're going to be held back by the quarterback position. But I think Stefanski's going to show that, like we might not win as much as y'all want this year, but you're going to see strides in areas where they didn't have it before.
All right, now, man. But then we get to the last thing. Who's the NFC's breakout team, man? And I think that goes. It's easy to say it's the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Caleb Williams goes into that 50 touchdown potential, they're gonna win a lot of ball games. I think defensively they'll be okay.
They did
I
great in
think
the draft.
yeah, so I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be fun. And they'll be my breakout team. Everybody else, the Packers, the Giants, the Commanders, even the Panthers have a little bit of issues, right? So I think and issues at the quarterback position, right? I think Love's okay. But Dart's still young. Jaden Daniels is coming off an injury. And although Bryce Young played real good, that was his first year playing real good. So we can't put a lot of stock into him just yet. But Caleb Williams was like good year one. And then it seemed like year two, he fixed all the issues from year one. So now going into year three, it's like, what else? Hey man, I don't know what the fuck that is.
But
but that's what they get for moving from Candlestick to fucking Santa Clara. Like that's what they get. They always doing shit like that, and then when like they move into these new areas and like, oh, that's no big deal, but it is. So,
for me, I think the Commanders are definitely a sleeper. I think Daniels will be fine coming off an injury. I love the Sonny Styles draft pick. I think he's instantly a big time player on your defense. And I think he helps get things together. I mean, obviously Dan Quinn is a defensive mind. I think they'll be great defensively. I think Sonny Styles is going to have a really good year. I think you still have some questions offensively. If he comes back 100%, I think the Commanders will be good. But it's the Bears, bro. I think the Bears did nothing but get better. They are loaded from top to bottom, and I'm telling you, Caleb Williams is geared to throw for over 4,000 yards this year. If he's healthy, Ben Johnson's gonna let him sling it. And I'm just saying he's about to put the we're gonna get into them, but when I read breakout in this instance, I see breakout as in like they're gonna go on a run. But I see what you're saying. We're gonna get into them, but I think the Bears are just the most dangerous team right now, in my opinion. Most dangerous, like up and coming team in the NFC, in my opinion. I think Caleb's ready to ascend that next level.
Yeah, the Saints got a lot better, but they still in like the same pack as everybody else in the NFC South. Like they got just as much talent as everybody in the NFC South. They got just as much defense as everybody in the NFC South. So it's like everybody's grouped in there. They look like the Bucks and they look like the Falcons in there. Everybody look the same right now, you know.
Didn't the Commanders lose Laramie Tunsil? Seems like I read. I didn't see anything about that. I'd have to read up on that. Maybe you're right, but I didn't see that report.
Nah, but
if so, that is a big deal, though.
Yeah, that's a very big deal. All right, man. So, like I said, we're gonna do these position battles kind of fast, but out of all of these position battles, right? So we got Tua versus Michael Penix, in Atlanta. We got Kyler Murray versus JJ McCarthy, in Minnesota. We got the Bears got a three-way kind of tie for left tackle. And then we got the Bears also with another battle for center because their center retired. And then who emerges as the number 2 receiver behind Mike Evans in San Francisco. Michael Parsons is out for a little bit. So who's gonna step up as their next pass rusher? Then we have the offensive line for the Lions is being rebuilt. So they drafted pretty well at that position. So what they're gonna do, right? And then we got the Cardinals, right? You spend all this money on the 3rd overall pick, and to break training camp, he's not even number 1. So out of all these position battles going into the season, right? What do you think? What you think?
The only 3 I really want to touch on, you talked about Arizona. I'm giving him first team reps from jump. I like the guy James Conner has been in Arizona. I think he's a serviceable option. I think
Shit,
he's
Algier's a 1,000-yard rusher too.
yeah. I think so too, but I don't see them investing in number 3. I'm giving Love as many reps as he needs. I need him to be comfortable. I need him to be ready because he's my guy week 1. We didn't trade up. We didn't do what we needed to do to get Love for him to sit behind these guys. I'm sorry. Love's my guy. I'm running him until I can't run him no more because Brissett is freaking cheeks. Beck looked okay in preseason, but I'm running the hell out of Love this year. When you go to Minnesota, McCarthy looked good in preseason before he got injured the year before. I thought he looked good. Gets injured, comes back last year, and I didn't see anything remotely close to what I saw from the year before. Obviously, I think it is a confidence issue coming back from injury. But you brought in a guy who's a former Heisman Trophy winner, a guy who feels like he's still a sky-high potential, even though he's been in the league for a little while. And Kevin O'Connell does have a track record of developing quarterbacks. Like you said before, he hasn't really had that dual threat, strong arm kind of guy. Look, this is how I look at it. If Kevin O'Connell can't get the most out of Kyler Murray, nobody else will. That's how I feel about it. I feel like this is the best possible situation for him. And best case scenario, Kyler figures it out and he's better than what he's been. And the Vikings could be a sleeper because they do have a good defense and they have great weapons. But Atlanta is the biggest head scratcher of them all, like I said before, because we have 2 guys who can't be healthy. And Penix was a terrible pick. And I think Arthur Smith was right for running down there about to strangle the general manager's neck for what are we doing? We just gave Kirk Cousins all this money. And when Tua's healthy, I like Tua.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the greatest in decision making at times, but like you said, he can get the ball out quick, even if it is short to intermediate, 15, 20 yards. He can get that ball out fast, but the problem is he cannot stay healthy. And like I said before,
he hurt right now.
I think Tua is the obvious better option, but the Falcons are not going to reach potential again this year because they're going to be held back by the quarterback position, which I feel like is going to put them in a good position to draft a really good quarterback in this next class. We both know we've been talking about this class for the last year or two. They have a plethora of really good options. So even if Atlanta doesn't live up to whatever this year, it's okay because you're young, you have really good talent, and then you can go, Stefanski can go and draft his guy next year and who he wants to run his offense the way he wants to run.
Yeah, so I guess for me, man, I guess I'll go offensive line for the Lions because I just think you should start Love with the Cardinals anyway. I think that's the easiest.
I don't like Sewell at I don't like Sewell at tackle. I don't like that.
You don't like him at left because he was at right for a while.
I know. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, dude. I just think, man, they were struggling up front, man, last year. That cost them a lot of games, giving up sacks, not moving the chains. It was rough. So, I think if you're gonna move him to left, then cool, right? Because he's been a generational right tackle, right? So let's move him to left and see if he can be generational over there.
If so, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
Easily.
So, let's just see what the fuck he can do.
Because we kind of need because you got a lot of money in golf too,
Yeah, so there's no need for him to be getting fucked up all year, right? So, and you're not going to. You gave Gibbs the money, right? but I felt like he would have got a whole lot more if he was just the guy, if he wasn't sharing carries, right?
Yeah, I
So
don't know how that's gonna go. You know,
yeah, so I don't know. I
that's a
mean,
question mark in my opinion.
so I don't know, man. We'll see. But I think that has to be the thing, right? I think obviously you're gonna start the rookie at right tackle, right? Which is fine because I'd rather him at right than left because typically the right tackle is either the weaker or the less experienced guy. So we'll see. But either way, for them to win, this has to work. It
Mhm.
has to work. So, but we'll see. Because it don't matter how many weapons you got, um, if you can't get the ball to them. So
Mhm.
we'll
I
see,
agree.
man. And I guess another one just to close this out, probably be the Bears. I mean, obviously their starting left tackle is out because he got hurt in the wild card game. So he's gonna be out for a while. But I don't know who I would go get, who I would start. I think Jedrick Wills is really good. He has some really good plays, seasons with was it Cleveland, I think. So he has some good seasons with them. But I mean, I think you signed Braxton Jones or some shit like that for him to be the backup, right? So this is a close battle from what I've been reading, right? They don't really know who they want, but this is an important person to be having on your team, you know. So if
Mhm.
you're, you know, if you want to, if Caleb Wills wants to have 50 touchdowns, kind of got to get the left tackle together. Although he can run around and throw all the time, you'd rather not have that. So,
Mhm.
but we'll see. But shoot, let's get into these team breakdowns, man. Um, oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, let's get into these team breakdowns, man. So I guess we'll start with the Seahawks. Kind of got into it, man. But you want to take a commercial break before we get into this?
Yeah, let me get that pulled up. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me find it because it got moved around. Yeah, okay. I think this is it right here. Okay. So we'll take a short commercial break, guys, and we'll go back to doing our breakdowns individual team by individual team, and we'll go from there. See you guys shortly. We are back.
All right, we back, man. So we're gonna break down all the teams in the NFC, man. So some teams might be a little bit longer breakdown, and some might not be. But yeah. So who's your favorite team, man? Mine is the Ravens. Then Brandon is partial Saints fan, but mostly Patriots fan.
No bandwagons here. We've both been fans of both teams for well over 2 decades, so no
Yeah,
bandwagon
pretty much. I'm a St. Louis Rams fan, but not an LA Rams fan. I
unless they're in the
don't.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. If
Who's
Kurt
your
Warner
favorite?
is doing the if Kurt Warner's doing the coin toss, then maybe.
if the Eagles, okay, man, are you one of those like? Are you one
Yeah,
of those? Are you
you're
one
a
of those?
Dodgers. You're a Dodgers fan, but an Eagles fan.
What kind of Eagles fan are you though? Are you like you one of those Eagles fans that throw eggs at the team buses, or are you like more just like low key? Like I just really like the Eagles. I feel like they've been having a lot of Eagles fans lately that ain't real like Eagles fans.
Nah, if he throw the eggs at the thing, you a real Eagles fan.
That's what I'm saying. Like real
Yeah,
Eagles fan, hey, real
yeah.
Eagles fans are assholes, bro. It's okay. Like they are. Hey, if you win in Philly, they'll love you forever. But boy, if you suck, yeah.
Shoot, man, you ain't even gotta
But
win if you
but
just play hard, bro. Like,
but man, they you know what? Like I don't want to get too off topic, but like man, they loved McNabb for so long, and it's like they don't even like McNabb like that no more. And I'm like, dude, McNabb was great, bro. I love Donovan
yeah,
McNabb.
nah, they fuck with McNabb. They fuck with I
They
mean,
mess
shit, they
with Vic
love
more
Allen
though.
Iverson,
Yeah.
and he ain't win nothing for real. So I mean, it counts, dog. Dude, but
Uh,
shit, man. Let's get to the Seahawks, man. All right, so obviously, they defending champs. I personally think they got a good chance to get back to the playoffs. They didn't lose very much, and they added some good pieces, including Jadarian Price from Notre Dame. Some people say he's the best running back in the draft. I personally didn't think so. I thought that was Love. And then I thought the guy from Arkansas, his combine made him
we
number two for
we
me.
both comped that guy. We both had him going to Seattle, and when they took Price, I was like, I didn't think Price was going to sneak into the first round, to be honest.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, man. I guess they wanted more of a Kenneth Walker type per se.
Bruiser.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, but I'm like, dude, give me something else, man. You already got the Super Bowl winning quarterback, so let's just go ahead and see where we can do, man. I think speed at running back would open their offense even more because now I got a home run hitter at running back, right? I don't have to just sit here and bruise all game. I'm gonna break one. Now,
Mm.
don't get me wrong, Kenneth Walker could break one too, but boy, it kind of just like, damn, okay, hurry up, you're not that fast, right? But I mean, that's just how I feel. Like he's
Yeah.
good.
I think Seattle's
Think
still
wise, that
fair
should
play.
be a great
Okay,
player.
that's cool. But I think it's going to be hard for Seattle to repeat. I think people are kind of glossing over the departures that they had. I think they were a bit of a bigger deal. I think Seattle's still a favorite to damn near come out of the conference, but there are a couple of other teams I feel like could really give them a running for their money. I think they're still going to play smash mouth defense, especially up front. I think they're still going to be really good. I think Darnold's good. You still have good weapons in the receiver core. I just need to see them really try to emphasize the run. What I'm scared is that they won't be able to establish the run the way they need to, and it's going to force Darnold to start making throws. And I would hate for Darnold to start seeing ghosts again. I, I think that might be the Achilles heel of this team. I think defensively they're good. I think Darnold is good, but if they can't get the run going the way they need to, I think that's going to really make them more one dimensional on offense.
I mean, yeah, no, I think he's fine, man. I think uh, as long as you give him some weapons, Chris, he'll be all right, man. I think
The Darnold
uh,
train.
yeah, the Darnold train. I think he's good, man. I think he's shown that he's a really good quarterback. He's gonna spread the ball around. And he actually doesn't make many mistakes, as you think. Like everybody's like, oh, he's not that accurate or he makes mistakes and stuff. No, I think he's good, man. I think he's kind of got that confidence now. Like, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I can do this. And I think he's all right. I think he's all right. I think he's better than people give him credit for. So is he the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl? No. Is he the best quarterback to win a Super Bowl? Also no. But he's in the middle, right? In the middle. He's like a Jim Plunkett, right? You get in there and you just do your job. You do your job and you keep on winning. So I think he's good, man. So then we get into let's get into the Rams, man. The St. Louis Rams. I mean, my bad. Let's get to the Rams. Obviously, they went all in, man. Obviously, getting Miles Garrett, Trent Duffy, right? Trent McDuffie. I mean, they're good, man. They're good. So, uh, like the Super Bowl expectation is obviously there. That's not really gonna change. But was last year Matthew Stafford an aberration, or is he really turning it up? That's my question. But coming into the season, you can't be nothing but happy about it. You know, obviously you got Puka Nakua, who probably about to break the bank at receiver if he can stop biting people. And then you got Adams, who's what I
Led
was
the team in touchdowns last
yeah,
year.
led the league touchdown. So that's good. Um and then like I said, Stafford's durability. I mean shit.
I
I
think
don't
he's
see that
good.
as a question because I mean shit. He played all the games last year. Like, I mean, what'd you say, Chris?
Rams had problems at quarterback. Reports of Bennett as benched and Simpson. I mean, yeah, the backup, but I mean, they've done really good to protect Stafford. He played all 17 games and he won an MVP, and I don't see any sign of him regressing. You know, I mean, can't finish his spiel, but
No, I don't see him. I don't see him regressing too much because I think he's good. I think he's like it's an offense that fits him, right? And the most important part is actually Kyron Williams, right? Like he's a 300 carry running back, which I like, which means that you're not only carrying the ball, but when we need you to close the game out for us, you're doing that, right? You don't get to 300 carries just carrying it on first and second down, right? We need you first, second to really claw out the game. So I like Kyron Williams a lot. So I think this team is poised to win it all, right? They're obviously the favorite coming out of the NFC. I don't like anybody as much as I like the Rams right
I'll double down on that. I think the Rams have the bet. The question at the bottom is, do they have the best roster in the conference? I think they do, top to bottom. I don't really see any holes. You know, obviously, I get where Cam's coming from. Not Cam. I get where Chris is coming from, saying, "Oh, you want to be sure about backup," and I get that is very important. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see Stafford regressing. I think he doubles down on what he did last year. I'm not saying he wins an MVP, but this team is solid. You bring in Miles Garrett, another insane move, and then you get McDuffie to lock up, the biggest liability you had when you had to play Seattle 2 times a year. All they did was get better. You have a stud running back, you have great weapons at receiver, and you have a quarterback who might be hitting the greatest peak of his career, barring injury. I think the Rams are the best team in the conference, and yeah, I would agree that I think LA
now.
is the favorite to win the conference and possibly win the Super Bowl.
I mean, Chris, dog, if Aaron Donald want to play, I don't think you
Is there
can
enough
tell him.
room? I think
Like,
there is enough room, and they have rumors of, like I was talking about Vita Vea earlier. Even if they don't get Donald and they make a trade for Vita Vea, who's stopping that front?
then you got Fisk too. Like, what the
Who's
fuck?
stopping that?
Yeah, like
Nobody.
that's a pretty good ass defense. If Aaron Donald want to play,
He gonna play.
he gonna play. Like he ain't finna tell Aaron Donald he gonna sit on the bench. It's like no, he gonna play. So there's enough room for him. As a matter of fact, who else gonna play? That's the thing. All right, I think we kind of touched on the Niners a little bit. I think their injury concern, their depth is like the biggest thing for me, right? I don't think they have enough depth to really go deep in the playoffs, right? They don't have a good backup running back. They don't have no good backup or second string receivers, in my opinion. No difference makers for real. Yeah, you get Mike Evans, but how much of Mike Evans is actually left? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think like you said, I don't think Kyle Shanahan's on the hot seat or anything. But as far as them being like a favorite, no. Yeah, I say French playoff team.
I think the NFC West can definitely get 3 teams in, but the Niners are a toothpick away from not making the playoffs at all. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about them, but I mean, I don't think, like you said, I don't think Shanahan is on the hot seat, but at the same time, like, there has to be a conversation at some point. You know, there's been some years removed from them being in the Super Bowl last, and we're just underperforming and we're never healthy, you know? So we'll see. I think they could sneak in maybe a 9-10 win team, maybe 11 if everything goes really good. Fringe playoff team, though, I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't either. Nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to practice in the preseason right now because all 22 of them players is probably starters and they don't want to risk it. So I wouldn't play in the preseason either, joint practices or anything. Like at least let's go into the damn season 100%. You know. All right, man. So look, the Cardinals is like one of them teams where it's just like, what do we do? Right? We've been kind of looking for an answer for a while now, honestly. I mean, they had that little playoff run with Kyler Murray a couple years ago, right? When they had Hopkins on the team. And now they've moved on, right? So I think this is a full rebuild now. I honestly say fuck it and let's just run the ball and play good defense. Let's try to do that because I mean Brissett is a journeyman, right? He talking like he gonna be the starter for a long time. That's not. That's
He's
not.
there trying to hold out to get all this money. I'm like, bro, get out of here.
I'm
I'm like,
like,
bro, you're in Arizona. Like, they lack competent leadership in the ownership and in the freaking general manager's office. Like, get out of here, bro. Like,
yeah,
I would at that point, like, I wouldn't even wanted to re-sign him at that point. I would have just went sign somebody else, or I just want to roll with Beck and just see what happens. I mean, you know.
yeah. So I'm just giving the ball to Love like 300 times this season. I don't give a fuck. We gonna run him into the ground. We're gonna try to just run the ball and play some good defense, man. That's it, dog.
I
If we
think
can get if we can get something out of Love out of Carson Beck, cool. If not, then we just go for another guy.
touching on that question Chris got about, Beck looking accurate. I mean, look, you brought Brissett back, so obviously he's gonna be your guy starting week 1. I think that's a given. I think he's gonna start week 1, and I think they're gonna really try to force the run a lot. But I feel like if Brissett struggles, or if they just don't, if they're really not getting anywhere, they're gonna put Beck in there as a spark. And if he's getting the job done, maybe just winning, like not giving them reasons to lose, I'll just roll the dice on him. But yeah, I think they have very good players on defense. You still have Buda Baker and some other really good guys. You still have one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the league, in Trey McBride. I mean, you got Jeremiah Love coming in. You got a first year head coach coming in. We'll see what happens. But if I'm Arizona, I'm putting Love in and I'm letting him get as many reps as possible. Let's roll.
Yeah, man. Shit, man. We just gonna be like the 72 Dolphins, man. We just gonna run this ball. We gonna have an offense built around 3 running backs. Fuck it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause they all good. Like I said, all 3 of them have 1,000-yard seasons. Well, all Algier and Connor have, but hell, let's just do that. I don't know. Be creative. This season's bad for them, but we'll see. We'll see, man. But they are far away. Let's just say that. All right, man. Let's get to the NFC South, man. All right, so the Panthers made the playoffs last year and gave the Rams a scare in the playoffs too. So, should be interesting to see what they can do. Right. All right, Bryce Young. Obviously had a really good season last year. I mean, I want to say 4,000 yards or some shit like that. He was balling. Obviously they got the football T Mac and receiver. So that should be fun. Let's see. They I mean, I thought they would have kept Dowdle. I thought that should have been a priority because he basically was probably the reason why they made the playoffs because 200-yard games he had put together. So it should be interesting. So I'm not sure what they really did on defense that makes them even better. That's my biggest thing. I
Mm.
didn't see much positivity on defense for real. I think they might have signed was it Jalen Phillips? I think
Yeah,
yeah.
they got Phillips. No, yeah, they made some signings. Cam, they got Phillips and they got that freaking guy from Jacksonville. I forget his name. He was one of the
Oh
better
Lord.
tacklers. Yeah,
Lord.
they got Lloyd, Devin Lloyd or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
so no, they definitely improved.
So they made some moves on defense. So that's cool. So I guess it's about consistency then for me. Like, because they lost a lot of games they could have won last year. Right. So and in this division, one game or two can sink your ship or keep you afloat. So I kind of want to see them be more consistent offensively, but I don't know how you do that without a really good running back like that.
Mhm.
You know, I think they still got who's the guy Hubbard Chuba.
Yeah, that's gonna be who their guy is, Chuba.
Yeah, so kind of want to see that, but for them, like I said, I don't know who wins the NFC South. I honestly don't, but I think if we're going off of like potential, I'd say the Panthers could probably get it again because they got a lot of young talent, and that's what I like. So, and they coach team, they seem to be playing for their coach pretty good too. So I fuss with the Panthers.
I think the running game will hurt them. I think they're going to be good on defense. I really like J.C. Horn. I think he's one of the best corners in the league. I just want to see another year like that from Bryce. I mean, if we can get another year like that, I think Carolina's good. I think the division is wide open, but if you're going to make a safe pick on who wins the South, I think the obvious pick would be Carolina. We're
Yeah,
going to get into the other three teams and why I'm not so confident. But I like McMillan. They still have Xavier Legette as well. We'll see what happens. I think they're the safe pick, but there are definitely some question marks for me.
yeah. But you know what? It's question marks all over the NFC South, man. That's why I said this division only gets one team in there. That's it. All right.
Oh man, I'm not
So
sold on Tampa.
so this is our boy Terry's team, right? So Terry will tell you that the Bucks is winning the Super Bowl next year. All right, so we're here to tell you that's not exactly the case, okay? So right now, the biggest question right now for me is Baker Mayfield. That's the biggest question, right? He turned down a big extension. I'm not sure why though, because
I think he wants
they're
more.
they're telling you you're the guy. They're telling you you're the guy, right? By giving you the extension that will put you up there with the other guys in the NFL, right? So you want more money, but I don't see the more production, right? So I guess this is the him betting on himself per se. But they're probably gonna lose one of your best defensive players, right? He wants to trade. Levante David has now retired. You still got Antoine Winfield Jr. He's good. Um, but that's it for real. I don't see no pass rush for real. I don't see no other linebackers that really stand out for me. I think you got Irvin at running back, so that's a weapon.
They got Bucky Irvin.
Yeah, you got Irvin at running back, so that's cool. And then you got Abuka at receiver, right? But after that, where's the other stuff that gets you excited, right? We talked about the Panthers have a bunch of weapons to kind of go to, but I don't see what Tampa really has to really make things feel good about next season, right? And then you got the coach, Ty Bowles. They don't really like him anymore. So it should be interesting, man. But I think the Buccaneers is probably gonna finish last in this division.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to that Baker Mayfield situation than the media is going to put on. I think Tampa's in a really unfavorable spot. Uh, I am not sold on them. I think they have probably the most question marks in the division outside of Atlanta. Like, I just think there's some tension with the organization and Baker. I just don't see why you turn down a deal like that. That's just really weird. And I don't see a point in trying to have it prove it because you haven't proven anything to warrant any. You're not even worth the offer that they gave you. In my opinion, you're inconsistent. When you're on, you're on, and boy, when you are off, you are off. I'm not
Yeah,
a
man.
Baker hater, but I agree. I think Tampa could be the last team in this division. Honestly, I think there's talent, but I just don't think there's enough talent to like glue it all together. It's like when you have a couple pieces, but the pieces start falling off of the puzzle. Like that. That's how it looks for me. I don't like Tampa at all.
No, I don't think age is the problem for Baker Mayfield because he's
No,
not that old.
he's just not consistent.
Yeah, he's just not consistent. That's all, man. And I mean, they got a receiver, but I mean, this
I think he means
Godwin
questions
old.
as in Godwin staying healthy. And
Yeah,
are you gonna get Igbuka to take that next step in year two? I think that's what he's saying. That's what I would say in that scenario.
yeah. So I mean, but age at quarterback, I don't really think that's an issue.
I don't think it's age. I think there's some tension between Baker and the organization. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I just don't understand that play. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah. Like I mean, I get you betting on yourself, but
Yeah, but that's a
even if
weird
you,
spot to be in.
yeah, but even if you play real well, right, the team still suck.
Even if he plays well, I still think they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's where I'm
My
going
opinion.
to. I don't think so. Yeah, we got should be the Saints. All right, man. So look, the Saints should be feeling real good, man. Drew Brees in the damn Hall of Fame now. Really good season last year. Actually, better than we both imagined, honestly. Um, Tyler Shutt kind of looked like he might be the answer. I mean, I don't know. He looked real good to me, right? I mean, if you were saying, "Hey, we're gonna start the season with a second round quarterback," that's kind of the season you would want, in my opinion, right? So it feels good. I mean, you got Jordan Tyson. I thought that was a kind of a risky pick just because he had the ACL injury, right? That's it, right? But talent wise, he's good, right? Chris Olave had a really good season last year too. You bring in Travis Etienne. Uh, and then you got Kamara still there, so they both kind of the same guy. So you could really tear teams up offensively with that type of team. So one thing I didn't notice until I started setting this up, Chase Young had 10 sacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Him and
he's
Jordan both had 10 last year.
yeah, so he's 27. So I think he still has some good play if he can stay healthy. I think that's good. Jordan coming back. I don't know if this is gonna be his last season, but he most certainly still effective, right? Him playing somewhere kind of feels like Mike Evans playing somewhere. It's like, don't do that, you know. But I kind of like the Saints, man. I kind of like what they got going on. Um, I mean, defensively scares me a little bit. Um, I'm not. I like the defensive line, but everything else kind of scares me.
They
Safety.
good at linebacker, bro. They are good at linebacker. You brought Caden Ellis in. You have Danny Stutzman, who you drafted last year. He's good. You still got Pete Warner. Werner, like that front seven's good.
Okay, all right. So
I
I
think
mean,
secondary is a little bit of a question, but they're young and they have good talent though.
all right. So they finished top 10 last year. So I want to say that won them a lot of ball games, just playing good defense. So I mean, it should be good. It should be good. That would be my dark horse for the division.
I think I really like the vibe they're walking around with. I think Kellen Moore is showing that he was the right choice for the job. And he's shown that Tyler Shuck was a really good pick. I mean, if you go into the statistics and you look at how the offense was performing when Rattler was in, they were abysmal. And it's like as soon as you put Shuck in there, it's like you lit the match at a candle. Everybody woke up. It's like, okay, we're invested. They were projected to be a top 5 pick, and they damn near 6, 7, 8 wins they could have had. Like they overperformed, and I don't think it was a fluke by anything of the imagination. I think New Orleans did nothing but get better. Yeah, you lose Alontae Taylor in free agency, but that just allows you to let some of those other young guys get in there and play. They drafted some really good guys. Kool-Aid McKinstry's looking like he's going to probably have another really good year.
Man, ain't that crazy?
Yep. You got him there. The
Yeah.
linebacking core is really good. And you brought Deion Jones into a couple days ago too, so you're even more
That's
deep.
right. They did bring in Deion
You got
Jones.
about
Yeah.
4 or 5 guys that you can run around and guys who can run and make tackles. Offensively, I love the ETN pick. I think he's going to take a bulk of the carries, but I like the fact that they're versatile. They can use them in any way in the pass and run game. Olave was healthy last year, thus why he got a big payday. If you get a healthy Olave and a healthy Tyson, I think New Orleans is good. They did really good in the draft. Barry and Brown from LSU, and I think they drafted another guy that can be really big speed guys. They're probably going to use in the pass game and in special teams. And I think Shuck could end up being the best quarterback in that class, to be completely honest with you. I think the Saints can win the South in year 2. Bias the side or anything. I think the Saints are just nobody's betting on them. Like I think people are expecting things, but I think the Saints could end up winning the division if things go their way. I think Carolina and New Orleans are like the 2 teams that I'd feel comfortable saying like these 2 teams have the best shot. But I just think New Orleans has just got a lot going for them, and they're really young, so that really helps.
Yeah, nah, man. I like what they did this offseason, man. I feel good. I feel good about it. And I think the Saints is gonna be good, man. But then we got this albatross that is the Falcons, right? Because if everything goes square, right? Two is healthy, uh, and their defense stays pretty good, right? And condolences to Jeff Albrecht, man. His wife passed away about a week ago, man. So condolences to his family and everything. I think the last thing he's thinking about is football at this point, right? So, but he does have a job to do, so hopefully everything can kind of get back to some sense of normalcy, right? But condolences to his family too, man. But this is a crazy team, man. Like I said, you got so much going on, man, because their team is not bad. And their team's not bad at all, man. But quarterback is a freaking question mark, man. Because like you said earlier, nobody can stay healthy, right? But I don't know. We'll see, man. Like I said, Penix opens up their offense a lot because he's got the bigger arm, right? But you don't want him running at all.
No, I don't even want him sitting in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
just
you're just a paperweight, bro. Like,
yeah, like I don't want him to I don't want him to move, honestly. Like
I like this comment from Chris. It's like, man, goes Bijan, so go the Falcons. But as DC, I'm putting 9 or 10 in the box and forcing the quarterback to beat me. I think that's a recipe for disaster for Atlanta because that is going to be the Achilles heel of this team. You have good talent on defense, You have a bunch of weapons on offense, but like Cam said earlier with the Lions, you don't have well, it's kind of related to that. I think Atlanta's offensive line's okay, but they're gonna blitz the quarterback because they know they can't stay healthy and they're gonna make bad decisions. And when you're trigger man, if you got a bad trigger man or you got a trigger man that can't stay healthy, you can't get the ball to those guys. And you don't want to freaking force Bijan to do too much and then he gets hurt, God forbid. But Atlanta talent wise could be a playoff team. But the quarterback position, I don't see it. I don't think Atlanta's in the playoffs. Maybe they could get to 6-7 wins. But like I said, if this year doesn't go great and you end up getting a top 10 pick, that's okay. You're not calling for Stefanski's job at that time. You brought him in to fix, to build on what's already built and fix the problems. You had a problem at quarterback before. You weren't going to fix that with Tua. So if Atlanta finds himself in the top 10 or close to it, they have a really good class. He can pick exactly the guy he wants that fits his system that's going to run it and succeed.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know, man. I feel like they just got a long way to go, especially at quarterback.
The Falcons are cursed, like the
Yeah.
Bills.
All right, man. So let's get into the good division, man. Let's get to the good division. All right. So the Bears, I think we talked about them a little bit. Obviously they go as Caleb Williams goes, but Ben Johnson has brought in some energy. And defensively, they're good. And offensively, they're explosive. So I think they're the favorites to win the North, and I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty easy for me. I think if they can score some points and stop people a little bit, I think they'll be all right. Be all right. I think with Caleb Williams at quarterback, they're in every game. Flat out.
I think defensively they're going to be good. Like you said, they're explosive. You have a guy that can throw wherever he wants, when he wants. And guess what? All of his weapons are young and on rookie scale contracts. All of them. Adunze, I think he's going to be better this year. They've got Burden coming back. You've got Loveland, who's damn near a top 10 tight end already going into year 2. And I think they drafted somebody else, I think, for the receiver core in the draft. And they drafted really good. Didn't they draft that safety? Was that Chicago that drafted that safety that we were high on?
Oregon.
Yeah. He's a baller. The Bears, I like the Bears here. The Bears win the North.
Yeah, I agree. I think they win the North.
I like the Bears a lot.
Well, let's get into all right, man. So the Lions, man. So the secondary took a hit. I don't know how Lions fans feel about Terry Arnold because a lot of people say we kind of like him. And some people say, nah, I don't like him at all. So he's not on the team anymore. But like I said, Branch and Kirby Joseph, they're pretty good as a safety duo, right? Kirby was better like 2 years ago. But if he can get back to normal, right, I think that's a good thing. So their safeties are good. I just think corner is a little bit of a question mark, right? Because remember was that 4 years ago they drafted Okuda at 3, and at first I was like, okay, well, shit, you gotta start somewhere, right? But he turned out not to be that good. And then you went from him to Arnold to combination of sorts that really didn't work. So they need some help. I think everywhere else they're good though. I think linebackers good. I think defensive line is pretty good, and safeties is good. Corner, they ain't got nobody. That's the biggest question for me. And obviously, the offensive line is cool, but I think you got some good guys that you'll just figure that shit out, right? At least you have guys that can play, right? So I think that's the fine thing, man. But I think they got a running back. They got Pachinko.
I don't really care for that. I would not have let Montgomery leave the building. I thought that was a really stupid move.
Yeah.
I thought that was the perfect fit. Those two together. I'm not dissing Pacheco, but he's had injury issues.
Yeah, because he runs so hard, man.
Knees. Like he's had issues. Like Montgomery and Gibbs are like kind of like what you used to have in New Orleans when you had Ingram and you had Kamara. Like you had the perfect tandem. And I just feel like that was a foolish move. I don't really like Dan Campbell being so involved in calling plays on offense. I don't like that. I think they're still going to kind of struggle there without having Ben Johnson. You know, I'm cool with Shepard being on defense. I think he's a good DC, but we just need to stay healthy and we need to protect Jared Goff. Everybody's like hard on Jared Goff, like he's a freaking choker and all that, but he needs protection. Like he's been one of the best passers the last 5 years. He just hasn't been able to get it done. You know, he's had a couple bad games here and there, but for the most part, like, got to protect him. He's a good quarterback. Statistically, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, you know, it's good being able to run with Gibbs and all that, but I just don't think Pacheco's going to be the guy to roll with him. And then if Gibbs is getting those heavy workloads, like how is that going to affect him? How is that going to affect how the offense runs? Obviously, you have good weapons. You have great weapons. Freaking Laporta, St. Brown. Like, you have weapons. You know, and defensively, they're going to be good. If Hutchinson's healthy, he's there, and you have Branch, Joseph, all these guys. I think Detroit is a fringe playoff team. I just think they need a lot of things to go right for them to get in. And once they get in, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they just had 2 high-level assistants, man, that really knew what they were doing. And they didn't replace him with anybody else. Yeah.
Well, it's starting to look like Aaron Glenn should have probably just stayed an extra year and went from there. So,
Well, when we get into the AFC, man, the Jets made a lot of good moves this offseason, man. They made a lot. I mean, you can look at the Jets right now and say, oh, they're far away. But they're a lot closer than they were last year. They were terrible.
not a quarterback.
Yeah, well, hey, reports say Geno's looking like West Virginia.
Whatever. I ain't buying into that. I'll buy in when I see it.
They say he's looking like West
whatever.
Virginia.
That's the ultimate freaking gaslight. Whatever.
All right, man. So we got the Packers, man. I think they finished last in this division, man. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. Because that receiver
room's ass.
Yeah,
I like Matthew Golden, but
Golden didn't even
they didn't even use him.
He didn't even get 500 yards last year. So I'm like, man, if y'all gonna draft a guy first round, you might as well use him. Like maybe it could have been him not getting open or whatever. That could have been a problem, but still, man, find a way to get him the football. He's a fast guy, so he can beat you in space. Right? So if you're asking him to be a refined route runner, that's never been his game. Right? He's a speed dude. That's what he did at Texas, right? He took the top off the defense, man. Underneath routes go from 2 to 70 yards, right? So find a way to use them, man. But I think they finished last, man. I don't see they missing too much, right? Michael Parsons hurt, right? Tucker Kraft that everybody loves is coming off of a serious injury, right? I mean, like I said, you depended on pass rush. You let Rashawn Gary go, which was crazy. Shoot, you let Quay Walker go, right? So I mean, you still got McKinney in the secondary, but that ain't enough.
No.
So I just think they missing some pieces. Man.
I don't think Green Bay. Look, maybe I'll eat my crow, but I don't even think they win 5. I don't think they go 500. This is one of the worst receiving corps in the league, in my opinion. They're one of the worst receiving corps in the league. I feel like their offense is predictable. They have a lot of holes on defense. I don't know why everybody is so hyped on them. I don't know why everybody think that Jordan Love is an MVP candidate. I don't know where this stuff y'all smoking and drinking. Like I don't know where it's at because there are issues here, you know. And I think they take a step back. You invested all that in Lucas Van Ness, and he hasn't done anything for you. Like Green Bay has problems. and I'm not sold on LaFleur getting this team where they need to be. I'm just not. Like, they've had some flash in the pan moments, but and they lost their freaking DC. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
I
he's
think they take
in
a step
Miami.
back on. He's in Miami.
Yeah.
And they lost like somebody in their general manager office to Miami. They lost some pieces to Miami. Like, Green Bay will be lucky to win 8 games. Like, I think people will be surprised of, oh, they got this and that. But I'm like, dude, Love can't win it all by himself, and he's not even that great. Like, he's good, he's got potential, but he ain't got nobody to throw the damn ball to. Christian Watson ain't that guy. Jaden Reed ain't that guy. And you're not even using Matthew Golden how you should be using him. So, and then Tucker Kraft's supposed to be top 10. I don't think he's that guy. Yeah, I think Green Bay finishes last.
And then they fucked up. They fucked up their whole team, man, when they got rid of A.J. Dillon. Like, you got him and Josh Jacobs. That's
I like Josh Jacobs. I mean, I think he's going to get a heavy workload this year, in my opinion. I love Josh Jacobs, but like,
I do too, man. But having 2 Josh Jacobs is better than 1.
yeah.
So I'm like, hell no, man. They fucked that up. But who knows, man? But then we get into the interesting team, man, because people forget, man, that the Vikings got the 2 of the best receivers in the league right now, right? And Kyler Murray ain't never had 2 good receivers. He always had 1.
Mm-hmm.
So he can.
And he got a good tight end too.
Yeah,
Hawkinson and Jones.
So he's got a lot of good players around him. And I think it's good, man. I think you give JJ McCarthy a chance, but he just ain't ready. And the Vikings got a team, maybe not a Super Bowl team, but if you let Kyler Murray play to his strengths, right, you've seen how good that could be. And he knows that this is probably his last chance to really get another contract, per se. And the Vikings are actually probably going to be willing to give him that contract.
Because they bombed the last one.
Yeah,
they didn't pay Darnold, so.
Yeah, so I mean, they might be looking for a little stability at quarterback now. So I think if he plays good, he's got all the leverage, right? So I don't think they can make the playoffs, but I do think that they could possibly sneak in there. I think I would, if I was a betting person, I would put my money on them not making it. But I think, man, NFC East got a bunch of teams around the same thing. They could probably sneak in there. But I like Kyler Murray. I really like him a lot. Playing in that dome, and then being able to kind of use his athleticism to extend plays. Because Justin Jefferson is always trying to get the ball open. You know what I'm saying? The Addison's good too. So I think they got a chance to win at least 7-8 games. I'll give it to them.
Flores is still the DC, correct?
I think so, yeah.
That defense is going to be good. So I think that's a check. I'm checking that box off. They're young. They drafted some young guys. Harrison Smith is gone now. You got Younger in the secondary. I think Minnesota's defense is going to be good. I think Kyler is going to play better. I just need him to take it serious because, obviously, like I said earlier, it's been a question mark. But him not having crazy expectations anymore, and he's going to a completely new spot. It's the same thing when Darnold came to Minnesota. No expectations. You just come in. I think Kevin O'Connell has an idea of how he wants to use him. Obviously, let him play to his strengths, but at the same time, I need you to be smart with the football. I need you not to try. Like, if you don't have to extend the play, just make the easy throws, stuff like that. You got guys in the receiver room who's going to make it easy for you. Like I said, we got Jefferson, we have Addison, you have a safety blanket, Hawkinson, and you have a reliable running back who's still got some gas in the tank in Aaron Jones. Everything is set up for Kyler Murray to have success in Minnesota. I think there's a shot they could make it. I don't necessarily, like you said, I don't necessarily think they're going to. I just think the NFC is like getting a lot better. And the teams who are more in line, I think they're just better than Minnesota. Or they're just more prepared, I guess. But Kevin O'Connell, like I said earlier, has a track record of getting the most out of his guys. And if anybody's going to get it out of Kyler, he's going to be the guy. So if Kyler's taking it serious and he's bought in, I think Minnesota could get 8-9 wins, maybe. Because I think defense is going to carry them, and they have way too many weapons for Kyler to struggle that much.
I agree, man. So I think it's gonna be interesting, man. But I like the Vikings, man. Don't sleep on them. All right, man. So we kind of talked about the Eagles a little bit earlier, so it's not too much, but I expect Devontae Smith to have like 1,000 yards this year again. He's gonna get a lot of touches, right? And I think Lemon could have 1,000 too, right? But the way that offense works, I would only probably put my money on 1,000 for one of them. But defensively is where the Eagles are going to be good, right? And I think that's what wins this division hands down, because they got too much versatility on defense, right? You got two good defensive tackles, you got some good linebackers, right? Good mix of youth and a veteran leadership. And then secondary wise, right? You got probably one of the best corners in the game in Mitchell. And then you got one of the best nickel package guys in DeJean, right? He can play outside corner, inside corner, safety. He can do a whole lot of good stuff, man. So I think defense for the Eagles, they could probably have a top 5 defense this year. And that's where I think their focus should be, on just uglying games up and being able to run the ball with Saquon and Hurts at times, while passing the ball 30 less than 30 times. If we can stay there, defense can help you win, right? That's the formula for them. Keep Hurts from passing the ball over 30 times. Give the running backs about 50, 45 carries apiece, right? Obviously, Saquon gets the biggest bulk of the carries, but do that and then ugly the game up a little bit. That's their formula for winning this year. And if they do that, they might be able to get to the championship game.
Yeah, I think Philly is still the favorite to win this division. I just think they have the most going for them with the least amount of question marks. But like you said, I think defensively, as long as Vic Fangio is calling the defense, they're definitely going to be a top 5 unit. You just locked up Jalen Carter. You're moving DeJean to the safety position. You've got Mitchell. I think they're going to be good. And you have all those Georgia guys there up front, man. They're going to be really good. Offensively, I don't think I think a lot of the AJ Brown stuff was just the media blowing it out of proportion. I think it was obviously a problem, but I don't think it was as bad as what they make it seem. But I think the biggest thing offensively, like you said, and like I said already, we got to let Saquon just run. You got to let him run. It's going to allow Jalen Hurts to ease into the game, let him make good decisions. Like we said before, every time he throws 30 or more times, there's typically a lot of problems. I think Smith can go for 12, 13, 1,400 yards in this offense. I don't know if Lemon gets 1,000. I just need to see how he comes out early. If he struggles, if he has any growing pains, anything like that. But I think the Eagles will be good. I think they're the favorite. I don't think they're like a powerhouse. I think their defense is going to be like the big telltale of this team. I think offensively they'll get the job done, but I think the biggest thing for them is defense.
Yeah, man. I think the Eagles got a good defense, man. I think they win this division easy. I don't think there's too much thing, but I mean, the Cowboys probably have the best chance of anybody to maybe challenge them this year out of anybody. Just because Dak played real good last year, man. And that was probably one of his better seasons since probably his first or second season, right? When they came out the gates gunning with him and Zeke and stuff. But they look good, man. And they made a lot of moves this year on defense that really kind of made me feel special about what they got going on, right? So last year they got Quentin Williams, big pickup. Then you get Dallas Turner, not Dallas Turner. Goddamn. But not Dallas Turner. Caleb Downs. There we go.
Mhm.
My bad. You get Caleb Downs at safety, which is pretty good. I think he's probably one of the more NFL ready prospects that you could get. I mean, you ask Nick Saban, he's like he was probably ready to put an NFL as a freshman. So, um, like I said, I want to see what you could do at linebacker though. I think they need an uptick there. But I mean, Dallas always got a linebacker or two. They find them somehow, some way, right? But defensive coordinator is new. They got kind of a young rising star. I forgot his name, but bringing him in, kind of from what you hear around the Cowboys, is that they gonna be a lot faster, more loose than they were last year under Elbaris. I think that's his name. So it
Yeah,
should
something like that.
it should be fun. I think offensively they should be real good too. Because they got two of the best receivers in the game right now. So that should be fun. But I gotta see how they run the ball. Because that's always been the
Well,
Cowboys
Javante,
thing.
I think he went for 1,000, huh?
Who?
Didn't Javante go for 1,000?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Pretty sure Javante Williams went for 1,000 yards last year. Hold up.
Yeah, but it didn't matter because their defense was so trash.
Let's see. Yeah, he went for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns last year, averaging almost 5 yards a carry.
Okay. Well, that helps out a lot. I mean, the Cowboys got offensive line. That's always been the thing. They got a lot, man. They got some young dudes too on the offensive line, so uh, should be interesting, man. They got the Great Wall of Tyler.
I think the best thing on this team is the receiver core. Like they're probably top 3 duo with Pickens and Lamb. If Pickens has another big year, I don't know if he re-signs with Dallas. I think he's going to be looking for a big payday. But I love that duo. I love Williams being there. They have a good tight end. You have some good talent on defense. But the biggest thing, Dak can put up stats all he wants. And I'm so tired of these freaking people stat padding and saying like they're putting his number his numbers through his amount of time through Brady. And they're like, oh, the numbers are like what and what. And I'm like, Brady wasn't cleaning up his own messes though. Like we're putting ourselves in stupid situations. Like Dallas could find their way in the playoffs. I think it's a possibility. But where do they go from there? That's the big question. I think Dallas has enough talent to sneak in. I just don't. I want to see what Schottenheimer is going to do this year. Going into year 2, is he going to are we going to see him be more assertive? Are we going to see them be able to win those games in those situations? Because a lot of times, coaching decisions play a big part, in those situations and winning those games. So we'll see.
Yeah, it should be interesting though. But that's the good teams in the division, to be honest with you. Everybody else seems like they got some issues, right? The Giants is rebuilding. We kind of talked about that. Obviously, Harbaugh is in year 1, so just trying to find what his core players are going to be under this tenure. So we'll see. They may, like I said, I forgot about Arvell Reese. Him, Burns,
Carter.
Thibodeau, and Carter. That should be a good ass pass rush, man. You should be able to fuck some teams up with that shit. So that's a good start, in my opinion. As far as building that foundation of young players, I think that's what you need on
Mhm.
defense, right? I think in this draft, if they're terrible, if they're bad as they might be, I think you go after a good ass corner. You need a shutdown guy, somebody that could at least follow the best receiver from the other team, and maybe keep him from beating you up all game. But that's what you need, right? I think offensively, you got enough to score some points. But you're gonna need some more running back help. But
Another
over the
receiver
line,
too.
yeah, but offensive line is good though. I think they got some good offensive line and some good defensive line young players. So I'm excited to see what they can do. But I still think they finished last in the division though. I
Yeah,
say that. I
I
feel
think
more
I
I
think
feel
defense is where they shine. I think offense is going to be their struggle. We need to see Dart stay healthy and make good decisions. And I'm just not. I just don't know what you do with Scatabo. Like he's still waiting to come off of injury. I think full time. Like I think you should have helped address that in the draft. I feel like that was an area of need. I feel like you have neighbors coming off an injury. I think that's another position. I feel like you should have got another good running mate for him to go with. So I think the Giants are. It's going to be a process, But I do agree. I think they come in last.
yeah. And then we get the Commanders, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Uh, Obviously, Debo Samuel's gone, so that experiment is not working. Didn't work.
Ooh, but they got better though at receiver.
Yeah, they got Stephon Diggs, but let's see how locked in he is because he's technically back at home now, being from Maryland or whatever. So let's see how locked in he really is, right? With all that stuff going on. But nonetheless, man, Jay Daniels, another guy that we said has to learn how to slide, stop taking all them big hits, right? Um, we'll see. We'll see, man. But after the rookie season he had, you're like, well, this dude's a star. like like so you would think, oh well, we coming into this season, we just gonna continue to do what we did, right? Injuries are a question mark, obviously, but we knew that because he didn't have the biggest frame per se. But I'm interested to see what they do at running back because from what I've been hearing, they're not sold on the guy that they had last year.
Krosky Merritt.
Yeah, yeah. So and then I don't know if they have Austin Eckler, but I think
No,
he's
I think he's going.
okay.
I
Okay,
think he's going.
because that it felt like it was gonna work, but it didn't work like I thought it was gonna work. Man, I thought Austin Eckler was about to be like going off, but
Nope.
nah, that didn't work as well, man. But like they don't have like the like a nickname defense per se, but they got like 11 guys that just play ball. Like that's what I think about the Commanders. Like they just got 11 guys that play good defense, man. And that's cool. We don't need a superstar for real. Now they need to bring back Bobby Wagner. That's what they need to do. Stop playing. The dude had like 200, like three. No, he had like 150 tackles last year, bro.
He's
Like,
going for the record, bro.
yeah. So we gotta bring him back, man. Unless Ray Lewis made a call and said nobody signed him because I want to keep my record. But nah, I think they finished probably third. Like maybe second if Daniels like goes back to rookie of the year type shit. But second or third, because like Dallas has more weapons offensively than they do. Um, but defensively, I think the Commanders are better than the Cowboys at this point. So I don't know, man. That's a tough one, but Daniels is good. If he plays good, then they gonna go far for real.
So like I said earlier, I really love the Sonny Styles pick. I think that's going to be an instant, big time upgrade. I like Durante Jones as the DC. I like that a lot. I think that was a good move. Uh, I know you're saying the stuff about Diggs, but people thought Diggs was washed, and he came in and caught for 1,000 yards last year. Like, let's stop
He
playing.
did.
Like, Stephon Diggs is still
He
that
did.
dude. I think he is like the perfect running mate to go with Scary Terry. I think they're gonna do really good. If Daniels is healthy, that's a big question mark. I think he'll be good, but Larry Tunsil tore his tricep, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a big deal. Larry Tunsil
Mhm.
misses like
Yeah.
substantial time. We're gonna have to find ways for Daniels to stay in the pocket and throw that ball, or like we're just gonna have to figure something out because like Tunsil is a huge loss. He's one of the best tackles in the game. That's why he keeps getting paid everywhere he goes. Uh, that's the biggest thing. I think Daniel's healthy. They're great. I think they could definitely finish second, maybe even make the playoffs. But with Tunsil out, like that really throws a monkey wrench into what you have going on. On paper, the Commanders can make the playoffs. But with Tunsil out and me just hoping that, we find a way to keep Daniels healthy and score points, that's the biggest question mark. But they are good defensively, and I really like the Dig signing. I think that's going to help them a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, we should see though, but I think it opens up the offense for sure. But I don't know, man. Dallas just feels like they gonna score more points than the Commanders, and that's why I think they're gonna fucking probably finish second over the Commanders. But yeah, man. So let's talk about our playoff teams. This is the last part of the show. But let's talk about our playoff teams and conference champion.
Okay, so let's start with the best division in football. Who do we see winning the North? Can we both agree we think Chicago wins the North?
Yeah, I think Chicago wins the North.
Okay, we're good there. Let's move into the West. I think it's a two-horse race between Seattle and LA. Me personally, I just think LA just did more to get better, so I'm going with the Rams to win the West.
Yeah, then the Seahawks will probably finish second. So that's how I'm
Mm-hmm.
going. So that's Chicago, LA, and Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's three playoff teams. We might have another one in the North, but I don't know. Let's move to the NFC East. I think we can both agree that Philly wins division handedly.
Yeah, Philly. Give me Philly.
Okay, and I think every conference they get three wild cards now, correct?
Yeah, something
Okay,
like that.
just making sure. So if we move to the South, I'm gonna shake things up. I think New Orleans wins the South. I think the Saints win the South. I think they continue to build on what they did. I think Carolina's still right there. I think either one of them wins it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think New Orleans wins the NFC South.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Okay.
I think Bryce got another good season in him. Another
Okay.
good season.
Okay. So if we go to our three playoff teams, I think we can both agree Seattle makes it, obviously.
Yeah.
What do we think about the 49ers? Do we think the 49ers sneak in, or do we think they have too much like loss?
Nah, I'm gonna go Dallas over them.
Okay. So I think I can agree with you there. I think I'll go Dallas. I think Dallas is just really strong on offense. I think they have enough players on defense to be able to put it together. So I think I'll agree with you there. So I'll go Dallas, and then I think I think Detroit makes it. I think that's my third team. I'll go out on a limb and give Detroit the nod. I think that you know what? No.
Yeah.
I can't put two teams in from the South. I don't think that happens.
No, I think
And
it's gonna be too close.
the West isn't putting out three, and we've already got the East putting out two. So I think Detroit is the safe pick, honestly. I think Detroit is that second team in the North. I think Green Bay finishes last, and I think Minnesota's good and could make a run at it. I just think there are too many question marks. Like, I think it all hinges on how great Kyler is. So I think safe pick is Detroit.
I think Detroit. I say
Okay.
Detroit too. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you have winning the NFC, representing the NFC in the Super Bowl?
Um. Man. Uh. Man, I think Philly, man. I think Philly comes out the NFC, man. And I like the Rams. I like the Rams a lot. I do. But I just love what Philly does on defense, man. Like mixing, matching all them people that they got. They blitz from everywhere. They can get you with four. Like it just I like what they do, man. All right. And then having Saquon closing out games for you just feels a little bit better, right? So I'm gonna say Philly gets me in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm gonna take a different turn. I'm going LA. I think the addition of Miles Garrett is a game changer. I think that tips them over the edge. Not to mention you got one of the best corners in McDuffie. Not to mention you still might bring in a guy like Donald or Vea. I think Matthew Stafford has another really good year. I don't think he wins MVP, but I think Stafford, he's just got too much. And I think he's playing with a lot of confidence, and he knows that, if I can still play, I'm going to ball out. So I think the Rams are just the best team. I'm going LA winning the NFC.
Okay, no, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But shoot, that is it, man. That is it, man. That has been the NFC breakdown, man. We kept it under 3 hours.
Barely over 2, so that's good.
Yeah, so nah, man, but yeah, man. Y'all let us know how y'all enjoyed it, man. Talk about y'all teams, man. Maybe we missed something, especially if you're a Cardinals fan. Maybe you think y'all about to win the West and nobody knows it.
Or you could be like Cam a couple years ago. The last time he picked the Panthers, that didn't really go so well. So
Right on, Chris. Right on.
appreciate it.
Man, I was early on the Panthers. I wasn't wrong. I was early. What? Give me what? 2 years, and they won the damn division.
Oh man, but that was bad for the time though.
Yeah, but I was just early, man. I wasn't wrong, man. They turned it around quick.
I think the NFC is gonna be good this year though. I still think the AFC is the better conference. I think they just have so many great players, especially at the quarterback position. We're gonna get into that next week. If you guys did like this, make sure to tune in next week. We'll do an entire AFC conference breakdown just like it. He says, I'm with Brand on the Saints. I suspect that Chicago stays in the path. I think the Bears have a legit shot too. I mean, they went blow to blow with Seattle, or was it LA? I forget which one, but I
Yeah,
think
it was LA.
yeah, they went blow to
Yeah.
blow with LA, and I just think Caleb Williams is going to be playing with a lot more confidence. I think Chicago's they are a sleeper. I don't think they come out of the NFC, but if for some crazy reason they do, it's because of good defense and explosive offensive play. And I think the Saints have a real shot to come out of the NFC South. They just need to continue building on what they did. I think all they did was get better. I don't think they really got worse at all. So, but if you do like this kind of content, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. If you are watching, check out the ticker at the bottom. You're going to see all of those social media handles. Check those out as well. And like I said, if you do like this, we'll do a full AFC conference breakdown next week. So if your conference is in the AFC, make sure to tune in next week. And then the following week, we'll do our playoff predictions. We'll do our award predictions. And I think the week or two after that, we'll be having college football back. So, and if you do like college football, check over the last couple of videos. We did the Big Ten, we did the ACC, and we did all of our predictions as well. So we have everything covered to get you guys ready for the season.
Hell yeah, man. But I'm Cam. That's Brandon. We will see y'all on the next one, man. All right.
Peace.
Peace.